going to do a quick review on action types concerning firearms. Striker fired, no external safety, double single action safety decocker, and single double action safety only. The M&P, the PX4, the Witness. Starting with the M&P, you will notice there's no external safeties. This is striker fired. So with this firearm, it has a fire pin safety, meaning that it will not, the striker will not hit the, ignite the primer unless you pull the trigger, even if you drop it, etc. So this, you better be ready to shoot when you draw this. It is ready to go. Most people don't like it because it does not have a safety. Personally, I don't mind. You just have to be cautious if there's one in the chamber and drawn. You have to be very careful. So, no external safety. Let's set this one to the side. Now I'm going to get more in depth with these two, because there's more to talk about. The PX4, this is a double, single safety decocker, meaning you can fire from double action. Let me just empty. You can fire from the double action mode. You can have it in single action, but it is a safety decocker only, meaning whether it's single or in double, the safety is gonna disengage that hammer. You cannot fire it if it's unsafe, and you cannot have it in single action while unsafe. Single action, once you have it unsafe, it decocks it. So there's no way to have this cocked and locked like this. You know, it just drops the hammer for you. I personally find this a good balance between firearm types. I like to know that when it's unsafe, the hammer is disengaged and it drops it for me. I personally like that, but in having that extra safety, you sacrifice having it ready to fire from single action while in safety. Meaning, if you want to fire this in single action, you disengage it and you have to cock it back real quick. You know? So at the range, you know, you take it off safe and you have to cock that back if you want to fire from single action. I don't mind personally. You gain some, you lose some. Now, single double action safety only is, for instance, something like this. I have a Palmer framed version of this. This is my friend's. This one's a little bit larger, so I thought it'd be better to do a review on this one. It's easier to see and whatnot. But on this firearm, you can have it single or double. Let's just do a safety check. Alright, you can have it fire from the single or the double, right? But the good thing about it is the safety does not act as a decocker. So anytime you have it on safe, whether the hammer be up or down, it's just gonna keep it on safe. It's not gonna deactivate the hammer. It's not gonna drop it for you. So what you gain there in readiness, you know, when in the chamber, you draw this, take it off safe, and bang. What you gain there, you lose in. Now every time you have to drop that hammer with a round in the chamber, you have to be very careful and drop it slowly, as it will not decock this for you. Here we go, I'll show you. You see? I do not recommend this type of firearm for a beginner, because if you're not familiar with dropping a hammer safely, and let's say it slips, you're in trouble. Especially if you're new to firearms, you can get nervous, you know? All of a sudden you just, oh, and then it goes off and you're in big trouble. So once you start getting the hang of feeling comfortable around firearms and their action type, safety, you know, action mode, then I would recommend getting this. Something like this, you know, where you have gotten used to and become accustomed to the firearms, where you feel comfortable. Then would I get something like this. When it comes to carry, I'm not too familiar with, I don't carry personally yet, but I'm sure most people would carry something like this, like that. Hammer back, safety on, round in the chamber. When they draw, nothing too much to worry about. But for someone new, I would not recommend it. I would recommend something like a Beretta or something with a safety decocker, where you're at the range or whatever, you know, and for a beginner or someone new to shooting, this might be intimidating. Uh-oh, the hammer's back, round in the chamber, might get a little nervous. Well, put it on safe, problem solved. Decocked for you, and it's on safe. Now even if you take it off safe, it'll come from a double action, which is longer pull. So I'd recommend something like this. And something striker fired with no safety, I would also recommend for a beginner, because it teaches you discipline, trigger discipline here. Knowing that you must keep your fingers out of the trigger guard, except when you're ready to fire. So for me, I had something like this with no safety, and it taught me how to be disciplined and always keeping my fingers out of the trigger guard when I was not ready to fire it, and how to empty the chamber while keeping my fingers out of the trigger guard. At the range, you know, you're done, just empty that out. It taught me discipline. So I'd recommend this for a beginner as well, because you don't have anything to drop and accidentally discharge the gun. But in something like this, like I said, you know, someone might be afraid to lower the hammer. I'm not saying everyone, but there might be some people out there. For instance, I would have been nervous had this been my first gun, you know. It's not until recently that I purchased something that has this type of action, so there we go. My 2 cents on single double action, safety only. Single double action, safety decock, and striker fired, no external safety. Hope you enjoyed.